Well, I'm here with you today to kind of wrap up this project of my attempted calendar year Triple Crown. As you might guess, I'm no longer on the trail. Uh, Over a week ago, I decided it was time to pull the plug. And so I'd like to talk about my reasons for stopping and what the project has meant to me and a few little other odds and ends. And we'll bring this to a close. Uh, First off, I learned a whole lot on the trail. I thought I knew it all about the criminal justice system, and I actually ended up learning a lot. It was a shock to me, the extent of distrust, at least on the trail community, lack of distrust for the police. And I think that's sad because I've said many times I'm an advocate for the police. They need to make some changes, and perhaps this distrust that I saw is evidence that changes are needed. Again, that's subjective, and I'm not saying it's that way across the spectrum of our country, but it's one thing that really stood out to me. Then there's a general lack of knowledge about our criminal justice system, and I think that is somewhat by design. They don't teach much about our criminal legal system in the schools, and I've been told that a teacher that tries to do so could be in jeopardy of losing their job. There's the lack of knowledge is pretty pervasive. A lot of people think that our prison system is privatized, and only a small segment of it is, like maybe 8%. It is a multi-million-dollar business, though, for a lot of companies that provide food and laundry and communication services in the prison system. So, not to say there isn't some business interest in keeping our prison systems going, but it's by and large it's still a government run enterprise, mainly by the states. There's also a general lack of respect for lawyers. Lawyer jokes are kind of a standardized thing anymore, and I've had bad experiences with lawyers, and I've had just the best experience with some. So it's not a universal thing, but I think it's dangerous when you have a profession that's lacking respect, because a lot of children will tend to steer away from it when they're looking for careers, and I think that's a sad thing. So I don't know how to solve that problem. My reasons for getting off: the Cascade Mountains. I got into a large section wherein there had been no trail maintenance, and evidently, for whatever reason, they tie trail maintenance to wildfires. And so if there are wildfires in the region, then the trail gets ignored, and it's been ignored for years, and that's wrong. That's a problem, because wildfires are not going to go away, and you're putting hikers at risk when you neglect the trail for a decade or whatever. I saw spotty work done on the trail, but overall it's in dire need of help, and I don't know what the answer is. It's not my area of expertise, but I can tell you it was sad to see. Yeah, that was a shock to me, and so that played into my decision to pull the plug. I didn't know the extent, if it would continue on that way or whatever. I still had probably 12 or 1300 more miles to do, and so I was hoping for a good weather window, and I had an experience of 3 days of constant rain. The rain finally stopped only because it switched over to snow, and all my gear was either wet or damp, and with no chance of getting it dry. And so I got off the trail with thinking I wouldn't get back on. I talked to family and decided to give it one more shot. Went to Stevens Pass, which happens to be a ski resort area, and it was a glorious day. And I hiked up to the tallest spot in the resort, where there was a ski lift where the skiers would get off. And for the first time in the Cascades in probably over 200 miles, there was a cell signal. And I called my family, who gave me a weather report saying that the area I was headed into would be okay for 2 or 3 days, but that weather was going to change, and there would be 55-mile-an-hour winds and wind chills down in the 0-degree range. And it's not that I'm afraid of that. It's just that out west, it was a totally different animal than hiking on the Appalachian Trail. First of all, out west, there are no shelters. You're out there with whatever tent or tarp or sleeping shelter that you decide to use. And you don't have the option of a shelter. The terrain out west has large areas that are fully exposed, meaning there's no brush or trees that are going to stop any wind. So it's different than on the East Coast, which was known as the Green Tunnel. And of course, in the winter, the leaves are off the trees, but still there's understory growth and trees that block the wind to some extent. Out west, the terrain is generally higher than in the east. It tends to be more remote. There are very few roads or infrastructure areas that can help assist you. What that means is that if you get into trouble, you're more isolated. Plus, resupply opportunities become fewer and fewer and tougher. And finally, unlike, I think, virtually every other person trying a calendar year Triple Crown, I had no experience on the trails out west. And so maybe I had no business doing this, but it was all new to me, and that made it a little bit more challenging. So I was facing situations that could involve hypothermia, difficult resupply, and finally, flat out just getting lost. I mean, sure, I had my phone and my phone app, and I had a compass and maps, and that all sounds good and okay, you can save yourself, but the realities are far different, and I just didn't want to put myself at risk of having to be rescued and having to hit the SOS button on my Garmin satellite tracker. I don't want to put other people at risk. And while it was important to me for the cause to try and finish this, I didn't want to turn it into an embarrassment. And so given the number of miles I had yet to go, the fact that the weather was deteriorating and looking like it wasn't going to turn around and get better, I just felt it was time to call it quits. I'm sad in one regard that I didn't reach my goal. On the other hand, I'm proud of what I accomplished. I mean, I hiked probably 6,300 miles, and at my age, I think that's a pretty good accomplishment. I'm not going to go into the record books or anything like that, but it was never my goal to become a hero. I just wanted to spread the word and try and help my friend Charles. And I felt like staying on the trail in a way could have been counterproductive. So anyhow, I'm back home, and in a cruel twist of fate, wanting to rejoin my family, I got here and my throat was a little scratchy, so I isolated, and sure enough, after a couple of days, I tested positive for COVID, and I've been pretty sick, but I'm on the mend now, and looking forward to getting back with my regular life. And I can't thank you all enough for following me. I hope you found something interesting. It was a life-changing hike for me, even though it's come at the end of my life. We have a beautiful country and wonderful people, and I hope we continue to try and only improve what we have and not settle for second best. And certainly our criminal justice system has reached a point where it's about saving face, and it needs to turn around, and I think the only way they can learn to save face is to again focus on getting to the truth. And it's shameful how easy it is to wrongfully convict someone, and even more shameful to realize how difficult it is to turn that situation around. And I'll continue to follow that and do what I can to make changes. So again, I appreciate every single one of you who's followed me. The positive comments are great, and even the negative ones, throw them on at me, and I'll try to address them. I haven't even watched the videos since I've been on the trail, so I look forward to doing that. And again, it's been an honor to get out there and be able to talk about these matters that are big concern to me and should be of concern to every American. So thanks so much, and let's see if we can do something for Charles and the other wrongfully convicted people out there. All right, thanks again. Bye.